Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This is Justin Ruth, 9 pound hammer, 5180. And I hope everybody's having a great day, man. I want to talk about the Super Penetrator 500 because there's a lots of confusion, man. Lots of confusion. I've been in an argument with an individual for the last, it didn't matter. I mean, needless to say, we're talking about height. If you want to take the Super Penetrator 500 and you want it to have perfect, good SWR across the 27 megahertz band, the 11 meter band or 1 through 40 or whatever, guys, is 22 foot 6, 10 and a half inches. 22 foot 6, 10 and a half inches is the secret sweet spot. I'm telling you. That's on the new reissue, the new HD model with the heavier duty aluminum. Guys, I got that thing mic'd in at 22 foot 6, 10 and a half inches. I have less than 1.0 to 1 from across the band, and it's amazing antenna. The antenna literally, I can literally take it and go to channel. I can tune down to like channel 9 and then hit my tuner, and it freaking will tune to 2 and 6 meters and be flat. I mean, it works. The antenna has it work. There's some pretty cool tricks you can do with it. Uh, um, also, the gain at the feed point. I mean, the current at the feed point, because it uses what you call linear phasing. So it has a different matching network than as you see on any other antenna. If you look at all other ground plane vertical ground planes, there will be some type of coil working in the matching network to get the impedance. The Super Penetrator does not use a coil. It uses vertical linear phasing. So it's got two rods that go right up, curve, and go. It's got one rod that goes up, curves, and comes right back down parallel to the vertical element, the vertical radiating element. This gives, guys, I've put my uh, meter on it multiple times and there is some very high current at that matching network. It's impressive, and I know that's where the antenna is getting its gain, its difference. That's the difference than other ground plane antennas. Is this feed point? Is this matching network? It it just works. It just absolutely works. The way the antenna is electrically designed works. It's worked from the 70s and still kicking ass today, and still will out talk any other ground plane antenna. Period. And I don't care who made it. I don't care Cooley, freaking Shockwave, Colossal. Those are wonderful antennas, and I'm telling you now, those are wonderful antennas. But the Super Penetrator outperforms them. It just works better. Uh, the DC grounding, the shunt grounding, this antenna, it's just so quiet, man. You have absolutely no noise floor, no static. Now you have to set the thing up right, and there's things that you have to do to achieve this, as the operator or as the person that's putting it up. It needs to be grounded right. You need to ground the mass or the tower that you're putting it on. I don't recommend that you go up and ground the antenna. I ground what the antenna is mounted to. Okay, that's how I do it. Now, a lot of people will run 6 gauge wire all the way up and ground the actual bracket of the antenna. I don't do that. My antenna is strapped and bolted to a metal tower, and I ground the tower 3 positions. The tower is grounded at the base. There's no reason to run wire all the way up something that can carry a conductive earth ground. The tower is grounded, the antenna is grounded. There's no reason to run a conductor all the way up to the antenna. And in fact, in some cases, when you do that, that conductor, that ground can radiate. Typically happens when there's not a ground plane present. Like, for instance, if you take and put an Antron 99 and you put that sucker way up there in the air and you run a ground wire all the way up to your bolts, your U-bolts, where you strapped it to the pole, and you don't run a ground plane kit on that Antron 99, that ground wire that you ran all the way up that pole can radiate. What I'm saying is when you transmit, RF can get into that ground wire. And in fact, it does do it. That's why it's better to ground the mass or the pole that the Antron's on and then bolt the Antron to the pole and it's grounded. It's all grounded. And then you don't have a wire or anything that can induct RF. That's how I do it. That's how I get the best. What am I trying to say? It's how I get my antennas and stuff to work the best. Never run a wire all the way up, especially on a vertical that doesn't have a ground plane, because it's going to radiate into that ground wire. Always ground it at the base of your tower. Ground your tower or ground your mast. 7.3s. Guys, I've got a LFA quad, LFAQ, 4-element cubicle quad, full wave. It's coming. It's going to be something else. I can't wait to stick that up and spin it around there and point it towards the east and say hello. Guys, this is a real antenna. I'll be making video of it as I go up. I'm going to be building a little pad. So I've got some forms I'm going to build and mix up some concrete and make a nice pad. This is going to be a hellacious antenna. It's 8.2 meters long on the boom length. So it's a beast of an antenna. I can't wait to get it up. Y'all be good. 73s, Justin Ruth, 9-pound hammer, 5180, Oklahoma. Y'all take care. Been having a lot of rain out here in Oklahoma, so I ain't really been able to do much outside. Haven't really been doing much on the bench. I made up a bunch of BNC cables and stuff for my test equipment. Haven't really been doing much of anything radio-wise. Really thought about building a long wire for my HF, but I got to thinking, well, I have a vertical that I use on it, and it's so broadbanded that hell, man, I can literally work 10 through 160 on one antenna with my tuner and stay under a 1.5. It's impressive. I'm not going to tell you what the antenna is. You guys should know. It's the most broadbanded vertical antenna that there is. But with the tuner, it can do some pretty amazing things. The Antron 99, guys, it's amazing. Broadbanded vertical and works well.